Yo, welcome to another episode of Fun with Dumb. Today I'm joined by a friend who's visiting from New York City, and I've worked with this man for a long time, but just in the last couple years, I've just been a huge fan of his Instagram account, and that sounds weird, just being a fan of an Instagram account, but it's the content that he puts on there, where he goes around New York City and documents the people of New York that make New York, one of the greatest cities in the world. And his name is Nick Heller, and his Instagram account is New York Nico. What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
Yo,
good to see you.
Thanks for tapping in with me, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just saw
I had to hit you up.
I saw your Instagram and you were doing all the LA shit. You had the In-N-Out Burger and shit.
In-N-Out Burger, that was the first thing we did when we got here.
That's fire. They always got that one by the airport and shit.
Yep. I thought I was going into it with like my order. I thought I had my order locked. Like I didn't want to go in there and like look like a tourist, even though I'm decked out in New York here. Yeah. But I wanted to at least have my order locked, and I fucked it up. I was like, because I'm not doing bread right now. Oh, and I know that they do the lettuce
protein,
wrap.
The protein.
So exactly, but I didn't know that it was called protein. So I was just like, can I get the lettuce wrap? Mm-hmm. And you mean protein? Yeah. So I just felt like an idiot. And then I fucked up the onions. Like I thought I said I wanted onions on my burger, and I thought they were gonna give me those like nice grilled onions. Yeah. But they just gave me raw onions.
I mean, that's fine. People have a different way.
But no, how do I? What's the right way of saying it?
Animal style, or
but no, because animal style is like the dressing and shit.
Yeah,
too,
but
right?
the onions, they grill them too. That's part of the animal style thing. I don't know. I usually just get an animal style. Okay. But everyone has their preference. Some people like to get the onions grilled and raw together. I don't know. There's something about raw onions that make burgers good too. It's a separate kind of different experience.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
But the well done fries. Key.
Yeah. It really changes like what people think of In-N-Out fries, because people think they're trash, which
really
like In-N-Out fries that they just say it's trash compared to other shit. Sure. Like McDonald's fries are fire. But I mean, I got distracted. I got all passionate about In-N-Out for a second. But by the way, actually it's funny you mentioned that, because I just saw a viral tweet of a picture of an In-N-Out burger fully wrapped perfectly in the middle of a street in Queens, and someone tweeted that I just found this In-N-Out burger perfectly wrapped in the middle of the street in Queens, New York.
That's a trap.
And they're like, I'm freaking out right now. And the tweet's just going viral and shit.
It's probably a prank. That's fucked up.
That's a glitch in the Matrix, bro.
So why aren't there In-N-Outs in New York or on the East Coast?
They say it's because they source all their ingredients directly from the farms. So it's close by. Gotcha. And they're all down here. Okay. Like they wouldn't, if they do that, if they open up there, they would have to like find farms. I don't know, some shit like that. I don't know. They've tested it out. They did a pop-up in Korea, had people tented in tents waiting for 2 days and shit for the burger.
Crazy.
That's pretty sad.
Koreans love waiting for shit, though.
We're patient people. We're very patient people. Why do you say that? Why do you say we love waiting for shit?
BTS was in town for SNL.
Well, that's
but that wasn't just Koreans. That was for Koreans.
Yeah. Oh, you saw them waiting
for
SNL.
Insane.
Yeah, because I went to the concert here in the Rose Bowl, and
shit.
It was more. I was like documenting the fans, because with K-pop, I'm more interested in like the fandom than the actual music. So I went and I was interviewing people. It was crazy.
You were?
Yeah, I was interviewing people. I'm working on this little doc and stuff.
Nice.
But it's so crazy because 80% was probably non-Asian.
Really?
Yeah, the fan base has gone full on non-Asian, non-Korean. And it's dope. It was dope. It was like cool seeing that. And then it was insane, bro. Like I went 2 days in a row. All day in the hot sun, and not even inside the concert, just outside, just interviewing people.
No, I mean, I have so much respect for people who are that passionate about music or anything. Like,
being a fan of something.
Yeah.
What would you say you were a fan of? Like
I was never a fan like that at all.
Too.
For anything.
Me too. Yeah.
For anything. I hate waiting. I don't have patience. So.
Being a fan is like really waiting on a lot of shit, right?
Absolutely.
You gotta wait on shit.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Concerts.
I say I'm a diehard fan of certain things, but like I'm a diehard Scorsese fan or a diehard Yankee fan, but I would never wait more than 2 hours to
Right.
meet Scorsese or to get really good seats for a Yankee game.
Yeah, there's different kinds of fandom too, I guess, where it's not like you waiting outside his hotel room or something and to talk to him, but you've definitely studied his shit for hours.
Absolutely.
Watch everything.
Absolutely.
What up, y'all? We interrupt your regular programming to tell you about Blue Chew. If you like sex, which I do because sex is tight, you'll love BlueChew.com. Blue Chew offers men a performance enhancement for the bedroom, and wouldn't you like to last longer and go extra rounds? BlueChew.com affiliated physicians work with you to find a dosage and active ingredients that is best for you. Chewables can work faster than pills, up to twice as fast. So go to BlueChew.com because Blue Chew gives you confidence in bed every time. You and your partner will love it, chew it, and do it. I like that. Here's a great deal for you guys right now. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first order free when you use my promo code DUMB. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BLUE Chew.com, promo code DUMB, D-U-M-B. This is the only chance. You guys can get a great deal right now if you go to BlueChew.com by using my promo code. Only $5 shipping, and you get your first order free. BlueChew.com. Last longer, go extra rounds. Sex is tight. Peace.
Let's talk a little bit about how you got started with this Instagram account.
Yeah.
Actually, let me just fill the listeners in on the history. I've known this dude for we worked on a music video together about what year was that? Do you remember?
2012.
2012,
which is crazy.
About 7 years ago
Wow.
now.
That's insane.
And even before we worked on that, I just knew about his work because he did a lot of music videos for underground rappers.
Ricky Shabazz and the Boom Bap Boys.
That
That's
was
my production
Yep,
company.
Ricky Shabazz and Boom Bap Boys. And I'd start seeing that, like the logo on certain videos because, you know, like, I'm in the underground hip hop scene. Seeing that, and I would see
Shout
that.
out Soul Khan.
Yeah, Soul Khan, Brown Bag All Stars.
Homeboy Sandman.
Yeah. So I'd see that, and at the time I'm shooting tons of music videos, and I'm just trying to expand out of my crew of directors, you know. So I come across your shit, I hit you up, you're like down to do a video, and it was the first actual music video that I didn't conceptualize either. Like,
really?
You brought me
Oh,
the
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, most of the music videos I always do, I'm always kind of involved idea wise, but you had a whole idea. You were like, yo, I never got to shoot this.
Wow.
That's what you told me. And I was like,
fire.
fuck it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it was at that point I just wanted to try something different.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I appreciate you putting your trust in me. Damn.
For real,
That's
man.
huge.
That is the only video to this day that I haven't
Really?
conceptualized probably. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
honored.
called 10 Rounds. It was a bugged out video
Banger.
actually too. It is a banger though.
It's still one of my favorites.
It's a great video. And the way it ends and everything. But it involves hot dog suits, beating up a hot dog, mustard splattering, a gun.
You definitely get shot in the head.
Get shot in the head, a face off, all types of shit. Great video. And then I remember talking to you, and you kind of lost interest in doing music videos for a while, right?
Yep.
And why was that?
I don't know. Well, you also forgot about Huell Hauser.
Oh, Huell Hauser. Another banger, by the way. I love that song too, but that was a video. Only video that my mom and my mom was in too, and she acted in it.
Hell yeah.
Damn, Huell Hauser in 10 Rounds. I totally forgot about Huell Hauser before I
mean, that was towards the end of my career.
Right.
At that point, I was living in Los Angeles because I believe I filmed 10 Rounds when I was like doing a little staycation in LA, like right after college, and I was just like kind of testing the waters. And I had actually, you're kind of the reason why I ended up moving out to LA because I had such a great experience working with you. I was like, okay, I have no problem moving here and making a career out of making music videos. So after I shot 10 Rounds, took a few months, back in New York, and then came back to LA and was just fucking miserable here. Long story short, I ended up living here for 6 months.
Yeah.
I shared a room with some kid. You saw my crib.
Yeah.
I shared a room with some kid. I failed my driving test 3 times.
Oh shit.
So, and this was pre-Uber, so I had to bike everywhere. Like I probably did like 3 music videos over the course of 6 months while I was here.
Yeah.
Huell Hauser being one of them.
Right.
But I was just like broke. I was really anxious, depressed.
And the music videos is not like bringing in crazy dough.
But that's when I realized that's I can't make a living off of this.
Right.
Or I can, but it would be horrendous. So then I moved back to New York after that, and that's when everything kind of started clicking for me.
What up, y'all? Fun with Dumb is brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with dozens of classes ranging from creative to entrepreneurial skills. I'm talking photography, creative writing. If you want to learn how to use certain programs on your computer, they have everything. And this is perfect for anybody who's trying to revisit a passion project or just step out of your comfort zone and learn some new shit. Because this podcast is all about that for me. I'm trying to learn from the OGs and veterans and experts in their field who come here and talk to me. And I've used Skillshare for the last month, and I've learned how to use this like program on my iPad Pro because I just got that, learning how to draw. And I didn't think they'd even have it, but they had that class from beginners to intermediate to advanced, like 3 different courses, multiple teachers teaching even the same thing. You can kind of choose which one you want to go with. And it's been very useful. And I've also found out about all these other classes that I want to take that I never thought I'd want to. And just for all my Fun with Dumb listeners right now, I'm going to offer you a special deal where you can get 2 months of Skillshare for free. That's 2 months of Skillshare for free. You just got to go to Skillshare.com/DUMB. That's Skillshare.com/DUMB. This is only for my Fun with Dumb listeners. Go right now to Skillshare.com/DUMB and use Skillshare for free for 2 months. Peace out, y'all. You won't regret it. Peace.
Yeah. But so I, without having this LA experience for 6 months, I probably never would have found this new appreciation for New York City.
Yeah,
the place where I was born.
I was gonna ask you that, like, if your relationship with New York was always that passionate.
Never.
Yeah.
No, because it was all I knew. So I really took it for granted. Like, I was born and raised in Union Square, which you're familiar with. It's kind of like the heart of the city. And I just took it for granted,
I think relationships with cities that we're from, that's the biggest level of like things we take for granted.
Absolutely.
Because we're on the same streets every day,
Absolutely.
going through it. We don't realize how beautiful it can be, right?
Totally. I mean, it takes being out of your city for a while in order to appreciate it, and that's what I did. Like, I think a year after college, I stayed in New York. Then I moved to Los Angeles to pursue music videos. 6 months. I remember I did like a cross-country road trip to get out here to LA. So I got to experience a ton of different cities in the United States. Los Angeles for an extended period of time. Then when I came back to New York, it opened my eyes. It made me realize that this is like the city that I belong.
Right.
Because I've experienced, I've given all these other cities a fair shot. This is, and they're all great cities, but New York is for me. Like,
right.
That works best with who I am.
So how did this all happen? Like, you just started taking little videos on your Instagram. It just happened naturally, right?
Yeah, it was pretty gradual. Actually, right after I moved back from LA, I was like super down in the dumps because I was living back with my parents. I thought that I was going to be this famous music video director, but it didn't pan out.
Right.
So I was figuring out what my next move was, and I remember I was sitting in Union Square Park, and I was kind of like reflecting on life, figuring out what I was going to do. And this guy who I'd seen growing up just as like a New York street character walked by, and I took kind of this low point in my life as an opportunity to go and talk to him. And this guy, who, if you follow me, you probably know who he is. Tedavon, the 6'7" freestyling Jew. Mm-hmm. He's this tall 6'7" white dude with dreadlocks who carries around this 10-pound sign that says the 6'7" Jew will freestyle rap for you.
Right.
So he's like a nomad, healing, freestyling, not crazy. He's like a very normal person, but eccentric, I guess.
Right.
But I kind of like took this low point in my life as an opportunity to just say, fuck it, I'm going to go talk to this guy for once and, learn his story. So I did. We ended up walking around the city for like 2 hours. I was talking to him. And by the end of us hanging out, I was like, yo, I've never made a documentary before, but I would love to make a film about you if you were interested. And I figured he'd say no, because in my eyes, I've considered him a celebrity, and that's something that's never changed for me. Like, I've always considered these street people celebrities. Whereas, you know, any average person walking down the street would see him and think, oh, that's an interesting looking guy, but probably think they're like a bum or something like that. I've always considered them celebrities.
Right.
So,
and you were familiar with a lot of the characters that you meet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I figured he'd say no, but he said yes. And I was like, okay, shit, I better figure out how to make a documentary. So I just winged it. Fortunately, it was pretty good. And I had the idea to just keep doing these little videos with, you know, interesting street people around New York City. So after him, I did a short doc on this guy who calls himself Spider-Man, who dresses up as Spider-Man and rides people around in a rickshaw in the East Village. So I did something on him. So then I had these 2 like 5-minute documentaries, and I was basically able to kind of sell this concept for an ongoing series based on, you know, documenting New York City street characters.
Right.
And that series was called Know Your City, N-O Your City. Yeah. We did 8 episodes. It did really well. Did another 8 episodes. And then from there, I've just like, I had this brand new appreciation for the city and love for the characters. You know, because the characters in New York, there's characters everywhere, but the characters in New York are, you know, people who I identify with more and kind of appreciate more than anywhere else.
I think there was, you know, with New York, especially such a grand city where people there already has this reputation of the decades, you know, with the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. It kind of, people started thinking it's gone downhill as far as the eccentricity of it, right? And then, like, I feel like, you know, so many brands have just done so much with it, you know?
Totally.
And I feel like from your lens and your eyes, like, it kind of gets back to, like, the street. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the main reasons why I did this series was because I felt like we were losing a lot of those characters. Right. Either they were, you know, getting priced out of New York, or you know, they were passing away or whatever. So I just wanted to like document these people while we still had them. And people really appreciated it. It didn't go crazy. We put them up on YouTube. It would get like a couple thousand views. Some got a little bit more, but nothing crazy. And I was producing stuff that I really liked, but it was kind of discouraging that it wasn't going viral, because I was like, these are people who should be going viral. So I decided to start filming the same characters on my phone. Right. So I started this Instagram page where I just would, like, you know, film these characters 15 seconds, I think it was at the time, no cuts or anything, and I would just like check in with them every once in a while. Right. And over, you know, a year, 2 years, I just started gradually growing this fan base of people who like really wanted to check in on these New York City characters. And then, you know, a few crazy viral videos got me a lot more followers. But
it's interesting when you say that, because like it's just wild. Like, we'll work on some shit that's like a crazy piece that's 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like barely gets shared compared to like a 15-second video.
And I mean, it makes sense because people have really short attention spans. It's really hard to get somebody to click on a YouTube.
Is that just going to get worse, you think?
Probably, yeah.
Is this
I mean, you know, what was Vine? 6 seconds?
Right. I'm just wondering if things are gonna go in a cycle and maybe return to
but actually
enjoying long format
that
stuff,
brings me to kind of where we are currently. So I'll catch you up to speed. So, you know, a few viral videos, you know, got my page more notice, I guess, and you know, more interesting reoccurring characters and stuff like that. So that kind of takes you to where we are today. I have, you know, close to 200,000 followers, pretty devoted fan base. And about like 9 months ago, I kind of wanted to go back to making these short form films that kind of dug deeper into a character's story. And I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'll pay for it myself. If it doesn't get a lot of views, that's fine. I just want to do it for myself, because I'm a filmmaker. Like that's how I make money. I direct commercials. I do branded content, documentaries. So I have the skills to make something that I feel like people would like if they actually sat down and watched it. So I made a documentary on one of my characters. His name is Big Mike, and he's the manager at Astor Place Hairstylist, which is the oldest barbershop in Manhattan.
Oh wow!
And I've been getting my hair cut there since I was 10. So he's this big fat dude who manages the barbershop. He sits behind the desk that you see when you first walk in, and he just tells you who's going to cut your hair. And I'd never spoken to him. Like, I've been going there all my life. I'd never spoken to him because he's just like this kind of grouchy New York guy.
Right.
But one day I was getting my hair cut. This was like 3 years ago. And I went to use the restroom. And on my way to the restroom, I saw that the storage area was open. So I just poked my head in. And there was Mike with his shirt off painting a Van Gogh-inspired Biggie.
Right.
And I was just like blown away. I was like, why is Mike why is this guy painting a Van Gogh inspired Biggie piece? So I asked him, and he told me that he's 56 years old or whatever. He's always wanted to paint, but never had the opportunity to, because he like lives in New Jersey. He commutes to New York to manage the barbershop for 12 hours a day, married, kids, never had the time. But he's like, one day he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make time. I'm gonna do it every day on my lunch break at Astor Place. And kind of just like teach himself. So when I caught him doing the Van Gogh inspired Biggie, he had just started.
Right.
So I was like, dude, like I'm gonna keep checking up on you. I wanna see what happens. Because it was really good too.
Right.
So I would check in with him every few weeks, every few months, and over the course of like a year and a half, he amassed this huge gallery.
Yeah, I saw
in
that
the storage area.
I saw that area, and it was just crazy how many paintings there were.
Also, like, just for context, you have to understand how iconic this barbershop is.
Right.
Like, its heyday was kind of in the 90s. Every celebrity would go there. Like New Kids on the Block would get their hair cut there.
Right.
They kind of invented the like the designs that people would get in the back of their head. They invented that.
Oh,
like,
okay.
OGs.
Right.
So for me, it was just like so cool that there was this little hidden gem within this iconic barbershop. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a page out of Mike's book, because I kind of put off doing passion projects, because in my mind I'm like, I'm only gonna do stuff if I get paid to do it.
Right.
But I'm like, why? Fuck it. Like, I have enough money. I can do something for fun, even if it costs me a few bucks. Like, this is something that'll be really cool, whether or not people watch it. So I also like would use excuses that I was too busy, but again, never too busy.
Right.
So I decided to make a film about Mike, and it blew up.
Yeah, didn't like the mayor come?
Yeah. So we had a screening of the film at Astor Place while Mike had his first art show.
That's dope.
So it was super sick. The mayor showed up to the screening, which was crazy. Like, a lot of people don't like the mayor, but the fact that he came to this screening with like Secret Service and shit, it was just so fucking cool.
That's sick.
The news came, it got crazy coverage. Vice covered it, NBC, everyone. And then Mike just started like selling his work for thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Fast forward to today, we released this film like 8 months ago. He has a solo show in Chelsea right now. He was in the New York Times, the Sunday New York Times, a few weeks ago. Is selling his paintings for like $5,000 to $25,000.
That's crazy.
It's just really cool, and I love that, like, I'm a part of that story,
Right.
So I want to just like keep doing shit like that.
Yeah, I feel like there's several people that you've talked to or documented that's doing really well.
Oh yeah,
too. I know you Luca.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. Everybody. I mean, it works both ways. Like,
why don't you talk about some of the characters actually?
Yeah,
just,
absolutely.
For the people who aren't familiar.
I mean, for the people who aren't familiar, you should have my Instagram out right now. Just scroll through.
You should be. I mean, it's the intro. The intro was the Instagram, so
I'm
pretty sure they would have followed you.
Yeah.
So as you're scrolling through, why don't you talk about some of these people?
So we got a bunch of characters. We got Luca 2 times.
Yeah.
Who's an 11? Actually, I think he's 12 now. A 12-year-old food critic from Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He's this little chubby Italian kid.
Very
Italian-American
charismatic.
kid, very charismatic.
Yeah.
A lot of people say he's like a young Andy Milonakis, which I love because Andy Milonakis. Have you not had him on the show?
No, I'm going to. Andy's my boy.
So Andy, the Andy Milonakis show is a low key, like not a lot of people know this, but it's a huge inspiration for what I do.
Oh, okay.
Like his man on the street shit,
right.
And the people that he met, like Ralphie, the old lady,
right.
His other neighbor. Fuck, I'm forgetting the names. It's been a while.
Right.
But huge inspiration for what I do.
Yeah.
I've actually never met him, but hope to one day. But anyway, Luca is kind of like a mini version of Andy Milonakis, just really charismatic, can talk with anybody, very like clever.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just like started with Luca. I was just filming him because I thought he was this funny little kid. And
how'd you meet him? It was just
I met him. One of the places that I frequent a lot in Williamsburg is called the Panini Shop.
Yeah.
And this area of Williamsburg is like very Italian. Or back in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, it was very, very Italian, like almost all Italian. But over the course of the years, with gentrification and shit, kind of more hipsters have moved in, and you see less of these Italians.
Right.
But the ones that are still there frequent the OG spots like the Panini Shop and like the OG pizza spot and the OG Italian red sauce joint and stuff like that. So all of the OG Italians come to the Panini Shop, and I don't know if it's because I'm part Italian or whatever, but I've always had a fascination with Italian Americans.
yeah.
Maybe it's the Sopranos or whatever.
Right.
So I would go to the Panini Shop a lot, and my boy Sabino, who is the son of Anthony and Sons Panini Shop, he just introduced me to Luca one day, and I just started filming him.
So he's just like a neighborhood kid?
He's just a neighborhood kid, yeah.
Wow.
And I put the camera on him, and he started reviewing one of the sandwiches at the Panini Shop.
Yeah.
And it just like blew my fucking mind. He reviewed it. He reviewed it. Like it was the FD&Y sandwich. It's like chicken cutlet, vodka sauce, bacon. It's just sick sandwich.
It's actually just, it's a great concept in general. A kid reviewing food,
yeah, it's
right?
perfect. I mean,
because you get the most honest, feedback from a kid.
Absolutely. Not the most articulate, but it's very,
but it's super honest.
Super
you know how
honest.
kids are.
Yeah. So I was just filming him, and he reviewed this sandwich, and it just like blew up on my page. And then I just like would go back and film him, and now we're like super close friends. He's had so many plugs, like he was on the Rachel Ray show twice.
That's amazing.
He was on the Wendy Williams show.
Right.
Everyone has written about him. I think he has like 30,000 Instagram followers.
Right.
So he's definitely a star on my page.
Other characters, Tiger Hood,
fucking legend.
He's tell
So Tiger Hood, I know I'm not supposed to choose favorites, but Tiger Hood is like, he's just one of the best people I've ever met in my entire life. Tiger Hood is, so it's kind of hard to explain his story, but the second film that I made after Big Mike Takes Lunch was a film about Tiger Hood called Neighborhood Golf Association.
Okay.
So I can encourage everyone to watch that because it tells his whole story. But in short, Tiger Hood plays golf with milk containers around New York City.
Right.
And he's been doing so for the past 10 years.
Just like trying to get into this bucket.
And trying to get into a bucket, yep.
Yeah.
And he's just a spectacle and the nicest dude ever, like, encourages everyone to play with him. And, a little known secret about him is that he's, well, I guess it's not a little known secret because he's a super talented street photographer and has the craziest collection of film photographs from the 90s and early 2000s.
Oh, wow.
And this was around the time that not everyone had a camera.
Right.
So he has shit that no one has seen
Right.
or captured. So while he's golfing, he puts his photos on display, and that's how he makes money.
Right.
So I made a film about him. He's, that film we did in conjunction with his first art show.
Right.
So there's kind of like a theme with all these films that I'm doing. It's kind of like,
that's why I like the way you document New York now, because like you said about the street photography, there was a time where so many things were documented, you know, and a lot of historians in New York City all throughout the decades, you know, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And now I'm not saying there's less of it, but the way we share that is different now.
Absolutely.
So I feel like the way you're documenting it is the more updated version of that
absolutely.
back then.
Absolutely.
You know,
and Tiger did the same thing that I did, that I'm doing now. Like he wanted to, you know, he filmed a lot, or I'm sorry, photographed a lot of street performers and people who he wanted to catch before they left, or became famous. Like he used to hang out with Dave Chappelle and David Blaine and got great photographs of them when they were young.
Right.
But yeah, he's just such a great guy. Doesn't care who you are, like as long as you show love, he shows love back.
Right.
But yeah, he's a star. He was, when we put the film out, Golf Digest wrote about it, which was sick because like, you know, that's his thing. ESPN, everyone's covering him. It's great.
You went through a talent show, right?
Yeah. I did a talent show a couple years ago that was hosted by Jeff Garlin.
Yeah, what's the story with Jeff Garlin's involvement in this? I've been seeing him in a bunch of your videos.
Jeff's the homie. He reached out on Instagram a couple of years ago, said that he was a fan of the account and he was going to be in town and wanted me to take him around.
Yeah.
So I took him around and it was a really great day. Took him to Astor Place, the hairstylist. Took him to see Tiger Hood. He met Matthew Silver, who's another one of my characters. It was just a great time. So now every time he's in New York or I'm in LA, we'll connect. And
people are just drawn to that, you know, like it's, for me, just being part of this city, Los Angeles, and growing up here. And, you know, I always say people sometimes will have a bad experience here, and it's not necessarily because of the city, but maybe what you experience, the part of it. You know, it's like there's LA and there's Hollywood.
Right.
And that's a whole different vibe and mentality. You know what I mean? Out here. But I grew up in going to the open mics and like the OG spots too out here.
For sure.
And I had, you know, I remember seeing all these types of characters that I see on your page. You know, and that's, I think that people are just, I was drawn to that, and that's why I supported your page off the jump.
Yeah, man,
you know, I was like, this shit is fire.
Yeah.
And there's so many people I think kind of connect the same way. That's
Definitely.
why Jeff Garlin's and all these like big people in their own industries are like always following, and I see their likes on the shit.
Yeah, man, it's so cool. It's so cool. I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity to do this. You know,
is this and you didn't think it was going to be this continuous thing, and kind
Not
of
at
it's
all.
a brand of in itself, right?
Absolutely. I never thought it was going to take off because, you know, when I was doing these Know Your City shorts, I tried to like, so I said that we sold the series. I got like a private investor, I guess.
Right.
We didn't end up selling the series, but I ended up making money, which is how I like was able to support myself.
Right.
So we didn't sell the series, and the reason why we didn't sell the series was because everyone said it was too underground. You know, it wasn't mainstream enough.
Right.
Which is why I'm so shocked that this is kind of, that I have, you know, however many followers, 200,000 followers now.
Yeah.
Because I never expected this to go beyond, you know, just like this niche group in New York City.
Do you have plans to make it more mainstream in a way? I guess I don't know if that's.
I mean, the honestly, you know, the Instagram is. I try not to give myself any or put any pressure on myself.
Right.
Because it's just, I'm just having fun with it. Like the goal of the Instagram is to like uplift other people, to help out other people.
Right.
And just to like give back to the city, show love to the city.
It's kind of cool how your whole like kind of life mission has shifted, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
From what it was, yeah.
Definitely.
No more rap videos?
No more rap videos. Not for right now, no.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not like taking tons of meat. Like I get hit up a lot.
Right.
To like turn it into a TV show or something, but
yeah, I assumed that you did, just because you know people. There's so many media outlets like looking for content.
Absolutely,
now. It's just insane, you know. And something like that is like a gold mine for a lot of them.
But I mean, I'm definitely down to do it. It's just got to be like the right person that I do, or the right people that I do it with. But yeah, I mean, I'd love for it to become more mainstream. I would love to make a feature-length film or a television series or something like that. The documentaries that I've been doing on these characters, like the longer form documentaries that I've been doing, have been doing really, really well. I just dropped. So I told you, Big Mike was first. Did a short on him. Tiger Hood was second. Did a short on him. And the third was this woman, Stephanie Boyce, who I just did a documentary on. It released like last week, and we had a screening for her. And that has gotten the best response so far.
Oh, wow. Talk a little bit about her.
So Stephanie Boyce, she's harder to explain, so I really would encourage everyone to watch it.
Okay.
But she is an older lady who has seen a lot of shit. She's gone through a lot of shit. She was like in and out of group homes, struggled with mental illness, addiction. And over the past 6 years, she developed this really beautiful friendship with actually a famous tattoo artist, Mark Cross, who owns a gallery, a tattoo parlor called Rose Tattoo in Williamsburg, and also an art gallery called Mud Guts. And they first met 6 years ago because he was tattooing around the corner from the group home that she was at, and she just would go to bum cigarettes from him. And then she started selling drawings that she had done for like $1 every time she went by. So Mark started collecting all of these drawings that she did and kind of encouraged her to keep going. And long story short, over the past 6 years, he's collected over 1,000 drawings from her.
Oh, wow.
And she also started going to other tattoo parlors just because she feels so welcome there and is really like drawn to that world.
Wow.
So she's like really big in the tattoo community in New York. It's actually crazy. Like you ask any tattoo artist in Brooklyn if they know Stephanie Boyce is, they will know who she is.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, Mark decided to have an art show for her at his gallery, Mud Guts, and it sold out. And I just kind of did a film about that whole thing, and we screened it the other night, and it was fucking incredible. So many people showed up.
Right.
It was very, very emotional.
And you're doing a lot of these screenings just out of just random places.
Yeah.
That connect with the story.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it's all about,
Yeah, what's like your ultimate, goal with doing these videos?
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm
like what's the kind of message you would want it to resonate with people just watching it, coming across it?
I mean, I love kind of where it's just going naturally.
Right.
Like I've kind of built a following now for, my following, the majority of the people who watch these films are coming from my Instagram, but there's also people kind of just like from the film community who are now following me and appreciating the work that I do, cool. Which is great.
Yeah.
But the dream at this point, and it's definitely an achievable dream, it'll probably happen in the next couple of years, but I really want to do a feature. I just want to make sure that it's the right feature.
And it's been a while.
I don't want to rush into it.
It's been a while since you've done like a scripted thing, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it would be scripted. I definitely want to do a scripted at some point in my life.
So you want to do a full length like documentary?
I want to do a full length documentary.
Cool. I think that would be kind of the ideal next step for you.
But it's tough because I don't want it to be on just one person.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it'll happen eventually. But I definitely do want to do scripted at some point because I feel like just I'm always in New York. Like walking around, I've seen so much shit. I have so many stories in my back pocket, and I know that I have like the ingredients for an amazing film or television show or whatever scripted. I just don't have like the recipe for it.
Yeah. And I would definitely think a full length documentary though would be kind of like your culmination of all the stuff that you've been doing for the last couple of years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm just having fun with it.
Are you meeting any new people? Like, is it in the last? Is it a lot of people that you've kind of been familiar with? But is there like, just recently you met like a new person?
Yeah, I mean, meeting new people all the time. But most recently, there's this dude. I don't know if you've seen him. His name's Wally. He's the dry cleaner.
I think I saw something about it.
He's Dude, he's on another level. He's this just like really charismatic dry cleaner from the Bronx.
Right.
And I found him because, okay, so he has this dry cleaner in the Bronx. I guess he hired like this young social media manager to like help him out with his Instagram.
Yeah.
Because he had, like 24 followers. It was
right.
He just wanted to help boost sales or whatever.
Right.
And this social media manager, I guess, was like spamming big New York pages.
Yeah.
Like, check out my page, blah, blah, blah. Spam my page. I don't know why, because usually I don't pay any attention to that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I was drawn to it. So I clicked on the link.
Yeah.
And the first video was of this big guy, kind of looked like an overweight, older Bobby Cannavale.
Yeah.
Like super kind of like dark Italian looking. And he's just like talking about his business in this super thick Bronx accent. Was super charismatic, passionate, so funny. Like I was dying laughing. So I decided to call him because his number was on his Instagram.
Yeah.
And I called him. I was like, "Yo, man, like this is New York Nico." He's like, Who's New York Nico?" And then I found out that like it was somebody who was handling his Instagram.
Right.
But long story short, I like reposted that video that he posted.
Yeah.
And it just blew up. Like people fell in love with him immediately.
That's amazing.
And we linked up, kicked it off, or hit it off, and he just started posting kind of. He posts a ton of videos, like 9 videos a day, just like daily inspiration, motivation.
Right.
And he's kind of got this name Mr. Positive from his fans.
Yeah.
The DJ Khaled of laundry. He's just like dropping gems daily. And
that just reminded me just of finding out about that kid who sells international snacks and stuff.
Oh yeah,
from his
super
trunk.
snack store.
Yeah, super snack store. That was interesting too.
Absolutely.
Like seeing shit like that, I love, bro.
Me too, man.
That's that hustler shit.
Me too.
You know?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, World Star it posts Wally all the time, so he has like 25,000 followers at this point. Huge devoted fan base. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, and it's also just finding out about the history these people have, like you said, just finding out how Tiger Hood had this crazy talent, with the photography.
Yep.
That woman who has this in with the tattoo parlors, like it must be kind of surprising for you, right? You dig deeper and you just find these little gems.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah. What's next? Do you have anything in the works right now? Like.
Few secret projects up in the air. If they work out, it'll be super next.
Right.
But you
don't do YouTube, huh?
Nah.
Yeah,
I don't do YouTube.
Instagram.
Yeah, it's too much work.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I'm just gonna keep doing some documentaries.
Right.
Keep hanging out with my friends.
What's the craziest shit you think you captured like on the fly?
The craziest shit I captured on the fly, I can't say on camera, but I will 100% tell you
shit.
after.
Okay.
I probably need like a year before I can go public with it.
Oh, really?
But it's wild. It's like the best story I have. It's the best New York story I have.
That's amazing. So, after this whole experience has changed the dynamic with the relationship you have with the city. Mm-hmm. You obviously grew up there. You're like full on New Yorker. Mm-hmm. But like what's the newest thing you've learned about your city?
I feel like New York has a bad rap. Like people think New Yorkers are rude.
Right.
Like if you're from out of town, you might come to the city and think New Yorkers are rude, but I feel like that's so not true.
Right.
Like as long as you treat New Yorkers with respect and don't stare at them weird, like they will be just as nice and courteous back.
I think that's a lot of entitlement too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's rude.
Yeah.
Like what are you entitled?
Absolutely.
Motherfuckers to come up to you.
Nah, man, it's
say
true.
hi all the time.
It's
like,
true.
dude, chill. Let people just do their thing.
Like if you're a tourist and you need help, they will help you.
Right.
New Yorkers are really good people.
Right.
Yeah. I honestly, man, like in my whole life, I've probably been in like 5 situations where New Yorkers have been really fucking rude to me, like, but for the most part, if you know how to act, they'll treat you with respect.
Yeah, I love that you roll up and you start filming. Everyone's cool with it. They almost like it. There's like some like stars, like some of them even ham it up and shit. Like,
for sure. I mean, you just gotta do it from like a genuine place,
right?
You know,
you definitely gotta just earn that trust too.
Absolutely. For me, everyone I put on my page is like someone who I respect or admire in some form or fashion. Like a lot of people don't get the point of my page. Like maybe, they found me through World Star or Subway Creatures or somewhere else, and don't have much context. Maybe they've just seen one of my posts and think that I just post like crazy New York shit, and then they'll like DM me a photo of a homeless guy like shitting himself. Right. I'm like, that's not my page at all. Like, and I would never do anything like that. I generally just post people who I appreciate, admire, whether it's candid or not.
Yeah.
It's usually coming from a good place.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's what's up.
Yeah, man.
New York Nico. Make sure you follow him on Instagram. It's probably my favorite Instagram page. Wow. Actually, it's funny. I don't think of like, oh, these are the top 3 Instagram pages. I just know I like that page.
Oh, wow.
And the shit on it. But make sure y'all follow. Now you guys have the context, so it's not just like a homeless dude shitting.
Yeah, exactly. Don't send me that.
Yeah. That's
you'll get blocked.
That's for the IG stories. That's not for the timeline, right? Yep, that's for the IG stories. But I always love tapping in with you out there. Sometimes I'll text you, and I remember one time taking a stroll with you through like Union Square. Man. And
you had all those people come up to you, be like, "Yo, you're the battle rap guy."
Yeah. That's the thing. New York is like, I get recognized here and there, but New York, they love me for the battle rap. That's the thing. You're like, yo, we be battle rapping. It's some real New York shit.
Yeah,
no, I appreciate like battle rap.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And Union Square is pretty legendary for like freestyling and stuff. It's a great place to hang out, anyways. But it's dope. I remember when I tapped in with you, you literally you'd be like walking around the city.
Man. I'm not working. I'm just walking.
Right. And what part of the city are you? Are you in?
I'm in Bed-Stuy.
Okay.
In Brooklyn.
That's what's up. I'm going to New York tomorrow, so
hell yeah.
Caught you right on time.
How long are you gonna be there for?
Just probably till Thursday or Friday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I wanted to share one story before we wrap it up too. I remember because I'm good friends with Aquafina, and you worked in a video store with her like as teenagers
when we were like 15.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's we
worked at Evergreen Movie Rentals. Right. It was my first job. I actually got fired, and the reason why I got fired, the boss said, was because he had complaints from my coworkers that I was too ADD, which is crazy because imagine that happening now.
Right.
How much trouble this guy would get into.
It's like problematic.
So unpolitically correct or whatever.
Wait, did Nora complain?
No, I spoke to her about it later, and she said that she loved me.
Oh, okay.
Maybe she did. Maybe
would you confront her? Like were you the one?
Yeah.
No, okay. But that's great. So you guys were both that young.
Yeah.
And this is like a pretty known video store, right?
I mean, it was. It definitely isn't around anymore.
Right.
But they fired me, and then I made a stink about it, and then they rehired me 2 hours a week at minimum wage to clean used DVDs in the back room.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's amazing. That's a cool link, man. two super New Yorkers working together at this video store.
That's crazy.
Yo, Nick, thank you so much for pulling up, man. I love everything you're doing. Make sure you guys follow New York Nico. Dude is, I think, about to surpass my followers.
Wow.
So I got to get on my shit. I got to get on my LA.
I got to start filming crazy people and
I got to get some LA heads on. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's inspiring. I'm wondering if like different people in other cities are doing this too, based off of it or something. That'd be kind of cool.
I don't know
to see.
No place like New York though.
Right. LA versus New York over here. Not kidding. But yeah, thanks for pulling up. Tune in next week for another episode of Fun with Dumb. Peace.
Yeah.